Suppose not. Okay. We'll call this meeting of the North Lake School Board to order, and please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Scott Duffner.
Here.
Mark Herrick.
Here.
Preston Fetchko.
Here.
Dwight Long. You said he's gonna be late.
Yes.
And then Dan Jansen.
Here.
Okay. Thank you. An approval of the agenda.
No suggested changes.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented. I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Other discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the March 10th regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the March 10th regular meeting minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Review of the bills. No less bill. It's a nice thing, isn't it?
It's the only thing you look for.
Yeah.
Make sure it's gone.
Took longer than we thought it should.
We don't need a motion, right? It's just a review.
Right, just a review. You guys are good.
It looks good.
Good.
Hi, Dwight.
Sorry about that.
Did you have any questions on the bills that you recall?
I did not, no.
Okay. We'll move on. Hearing of individuals in the audience. So got a couple people signed up here, it looks like. Appreciate that. And we have, not normally do we run into it, but we've asked the comments are 3 minutes or less, and we'll go from there. So we'll start off with Wendy, you're on the top of the pile.
Okay. Okay, dear school board members, I'm writing to formally express my deep concern and frustrations regarding the increasing disruptive, inappropriate, and unsafe behaviors occurring in both my children's classroom within North Lake School. As a parent of 2 students, one in 6th grade and one in 3rd grade, I am troubled not only by the negative impact these behaviors are having on my children's education, but also by the apparent lack of effective intervention and following up in response to serious incidents. In my son's 6th grade class, there has been repetitive disruption caused by a student. I have previously reported this student's alarming behavior, including the threat of bringing a gun to school, to the principal, the superintendent, and local law enforcement, including the county sheriff and Oregon State Police. To my knowledge, no substantial actions have been taken, which is deeply concerning given the severity of a threat. Most recently, this student's behavior during ag in the class escalated to a point where the entire class was removed from the classroom to relocate in the library, while this student was allowed to remain in the classroom. This student has also brought an icebreaker gun container implied was filled with illegal drugs, specifically meth and cocaine. Furthermore, this student has made highly inappropriate and offensive statements, including wishes that slavery still exists, glorifying drugs, suicide, and the mistreatment of others, and making racial and insensitive remarks about his teacher. These actions create an unsafe and highly inappropriate learning environment for all students. In my daughter's 3rd grade class, I have similar concerns. A student who has been with her since kindergarten and not previously exhibited behavioral issues, has recently begun throwing chairs, flipping desks, and almost hitting another classmate and having extreme outbursts in class. Another student has verbally assaulted a peer, made obscene gestures, and punched a teacher in the chest. This student's younger, I can't say names, so a younger brother to the one that was in the 6th grade has also exhibited aggressive and disrespectful behavior, including cussing out a teacher during PE. I would also like to advise that I'm not the only parent who has expressed concerns regarding these students' disruptive behaviors. Several other parents have shared similar frustrations about the lack of effective interventions and ongoing safety issues, including their children as well. This is not just an isolation issue, but a growing concern that demands urgent attention. These behaviors are not only unacceptable, but are actively hindering the ability of teachers to effectively manage their classroom and provide the education all children deserve. It is disheartening to witness my children and their classmates being robbed of a safe, respectful, and productive learning environment. I am especially concerned that the current approach to discipline and student support is failing to address these ongoing issues in a meaningful and substantial way. I respectfully urge the school board to take these concerns seriously and investigate the effectiveness of current behavioral interventions, policies, and safety protocols within the school. I ask that a formal review be conducted into these repeated incidents and the steps be taken to ensure all students are given the opportunity to learn in a safe and supportive environment.
Thank you, Wendy. Sorry, you're fine.
I was almost done.
That's all right. That's all right. We appreciate it. Next up, we have Cheyenne.
My name's Cheyenne Houghton. I am a member of the district. I have 2 daughters that go here, one in 2nd, one in 4th. I'm also a substitute teacher. Tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of frustrated parents and school staff. The lack of consistent discipline for students is growing by the day. I know there have been multiple complaints over the past few years by parents, but yet we still have not reached a successful resolution. When my daughter comes home more days than not, angry, frustrated because a student in her class is throwing things at students, speaking to the disgusting things out of his mouth to his teacher and fellow classmates that would make a grown adult uncomfortable. There is no excuse for it. I know inclusion is always a goal, and some of these children are on IEPs for behavior or academics, but this behavior cannot be tolerated in the classroom. We have a spread room for a reason, and sending them to Miss Amber's is not the answer. There is a time and a place for her room, and at this point, I feel like it's overused. I know that as a community, we serve a lower income population, and with that, we see more issues with behavior. We all know that behavior starts at home, and parents are expected to step up. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen always. That's why we need structure and consistency at school. Children thrive on structure, a discipline ladder that everyone uses. These kids' behavior continues because they are not scared of their consequences and have no respect. What happened to private school? What happened to suspension? What happened to calling parents for an immediate meeting and to pick up their child? If they have to come 5 days in a row to pick up their child, just maybe some things will start to happen at home. I know parents threaten, and as a society, we have become soft, but I encourage the administration and the school board to take a hard look at what they're doing and why it's not working and what they can do better. So much time is wasted in the classroom correcting intolerable behavior. When students can't learn and teachers can't teach, something has to change. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's all the people that I have signed up. I have another one. All right.
One, is it more of the same? Discipline. Behavior, yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and this was addressed by Wendy, but I mean, do you want to hear her as well?
Yeah, we may as well.
Yeah.
We're here.
I didn't, and no school names, no disparaging teachers without the teacher present.
I didn't write something out, but my daughter is on an IEP and I understand the laws, inclusive. I understand all that, but it's coming to the point where the IEP, the extra help that she's supposed to be getting, she isn't getting because how it's protecting the bad behavior. So I guess we need to figure out a way around this so that all kids get help.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you guys for your comments, and thank you for coming. So, All right, moving on with new business, we have resolution 2425-02 appropriations adjustment.
Let's see. So, we need to do an appropriations adjustment. I think you do them with Sarah, you've seen them before. For some grants that we rolled forward more than what was in the budget last year, or we got more money than what we expected in the budget last year, or we're spending it a little differently, not in the 1,000, but in the 2,000, or we're spending more in the 1,000 than we are in the 2,000. So we have to move some money from one to the other. But we are still within our 10% of the fund, so we don't have to have a supplemental budget meeting. We just have to have a resolution from you guys to move this money around in the budget, so that we're not over budget. We are not over appropriated.
Is this part of the property tax fiasco?
No, this is all grants. This is all in the grant section, and it's all because we either rolled forward more than what we had budgeted for, or we got more money than what we had budgeted for. So we don't have the appropriations to spend that money. So we need to make a supplemental resolution so that we can spend that money. Otherwise, we can't spend it.
Well, we want to do that.
And on the second page, it has the resolution.
Yeah, I'll move that we resolve to adjust appropriations for the above funds as listed for the 24-25 fiscal year.
Service the second.
Seconded, it's been moved and seconded to adjust appropriations for the above funds as listed above for the 24-25 school year. Any discussion, comments, questions? All those in favor? Motion carries. Now resolution 2425-01.
So you saw one similar to this one last year when the county inappropriately, accidentally, whatever they did, showed that we didn't bond money last year, and so then they had to fix that. So we have to do something again this year. So when the budget was adopted last year, the resolution was to, for the bond, appropriate $269,000. Unfortunately, the form that went to the county was only for $238,000. So this next year, we're gonna have to make up that difference, which is like $31,000. And we're also gonna have to make up another, I believe, $28,000 because people aren't paying their taxes this year. And you'll see that in our other report too. And so we're gonna have to, for the end of this year, borrow from the general fund to cover that until we get this money next year. So as a taxpayer, your taxes are gonna go up next year, but hopefully they won't be year after that. Hopefully they'll either stay the same or go down. But we have to make up for that error, and we have to make up for people not paying their taxes. So we need a resolution to be able to borrow from the general fund to get through the end of this year. So then ask for that extra money next year from the taxpayers.
So was that county error again?
No, it was this.
It was our error.
It was business manager last year. It was Sarah's fault. Don't tell her I said that.
You always blame the one that's gone.
Don't worry, it's
Well, I mean,
recorded.
you can look, it's like,
But, so you said 238 was billed, and it was supposed to be.
it was supposed to be 269.
269. And is that double? Is that for the 2 years?
No, it's just for last year.
But
The other
then you need the
28,000.
extra because money's not coming in.
Yeah, the other
We're
28
not even
is
getting the
because
230.
we're not gonna get the whole 238. I can ask for some. Yeah.
Dan's not paying his taxes.
Hey,
I don't know if he's not paying their taxes, I just know people are paying.
Sarah. She said. Yeah, but it still has the word.
So you're asking for 65 from the general fund?
From the general fund, and it's just, I mean, It's just till we get the money back next year.
Yeah.
It's a, yeah, the motion can read to be repaid in full by June 30th, 2026. And those last two paragraphs of that resolution, you can pretty well just
Make a
for the
move.
motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I move that we lend up to $65,000 from the general fund, the 2019 bond debt service fund at an interest rate of 0%. And that the loan be repaid by the 2019 bond debt service fund to the general fund in full by June 30th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to lend up to $65,000 from the general fund to the 2019 bond debt service fund at an interest rate of 0%. And further resolve that this loan will be repaid by the 2019 bond debt service fund to the general fund in full by June 30, 2026. Any other questions?
I got one.
Okay.
So does that revenue come in May?
Some will come in May as people pay that third payment if they're doing payments. But I can't say that that much is gonna come in. We're looking at prior years. Sarah and I both looked at prior years. And it's usually about 5,000.
So by the end of June, we should have a good idea if we've even made that to,
We were pretty conservative with the 65,000.
Okay.
We're pretty sure that
Okay.
will cover it for sure.
The only question I have is clerical. On the top of the resolution, it says 2425-01.
Yeah, she did them backwards. That one's over on the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
that's what I found.
On our agenda, it's 2025.
04, yeah. And I corrected it. I did not see the old one until I opened it up.
Oh, yeah.
Can we make sure on the July, I guess it'd be the July board meeting, that we follow up on this just to make sure where we're at,
Follow up on.
making sure that we're, the money that's come in.
So the money won't come in by this July. What we're asking for is that as
Oh,
we
gotcha.
end this fiscal year, we're gonna borrow that, what we're short from the general fund. And then next year, when I give this, the new ED form, ED50 form to the county, it's gonna include this money that we didn't get in this year.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a lot higher. I think when we look at the budget, you'll see it's
All right.
347.
I trust that you'll just let us know
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that it's reconciled.
Yeah.
So, all right. Perfect. Good.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor? Motion carries. All right, looks like we're into the superintendent's report.
Okay, you guys have the enrollment report that Janet sent. And we don't need to discuss that. You said last time you just preferred to look at it, so we'll just kind of skip on by that. And then that brings us to number 2, the monthly financial report from Monica. Did you want to say anything about that?
So as you look at that one, I'm still keeping it at the $233,000 loss. I don't know that we'll actually have that much of a loss, but I'm trying to be conservative. You'll see at the top, we expected to get $1,055,000 in taxes. So far, we've only gotten $976,000. I can't see a whole lot more coming in. We'll get some in May, but again, looking at past years, that hasn't been a lot. We didn't get the sales because they're not doing sales right now until 2027, I think. Also waiting for the federal forest piece. Still haven't heard anything on that, if it's gonna still happen this year or not. And so we're gonna be short on what we expect our revenue to be. So,
Remember what our anticipated going into the year, it's similar to this, isn't it? Remember we
she gets
projecting
exactly
roughly-
that, 250.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're actually not spending as much, but we're not getting as much either. So
Yeah.
instead of gaining on that, we're not gaining.
Any word on the mid-May adjustment?
Nothing yet. People they're still waiting for, I think they said 8 audits to come in. And so they can't adjust everybody until they have everybody's numbers in there. So,
Okay, next one's you two, Monica, budget preview.
oh, okay.
We're just gonna get you a table up here.
As well.
Yeah, CFO.
So these are the budget packets for next Monday night's meeting. You guys can look through them, bring all kinds of questions for Monday. This is worst case scenario. And we don't know anything, and we probably won't know anything until June or July. But we have to have a budget passed before then. So we're gonna do the worst case scenario. Hopefully you guys look through it with your questions and whatever you have. And then we're just gonna expect, and the whole state is like this, to have supplemental budget meetings next fall. Once we know what our numbers are, and then we can make cuts if we need to, do whatever we need to do. But right now, we don't know anything federally. We don't know anything state. We don't know anything for any of it. And they say they're not gonna get us any information. They keep pushing it out even further. The last meeting I had, they said end of June, beginning of July. So we have to have our budget approved before then. So I'm just gonna go with what we have there.
Which
hopefully.
looks
But look
kind of
through
scary,
What's that?
but which looks kind of scary.
It does.
Look at the bottom line number, I'll tell you that right now.
But it keeps
It's our-
us, I made sure that it kept us in the reserve of 4 billion. So we're still at a $4 million level for our reserve. So just keep that in mind. And we'll see, we might get to roll forward a little more this year than what I'm saying right now. At the end of June, we might have more than that roll forward next year. So.
Yeah.
If you have questions this week, call me. I'll be here.
Okay.
You just said you don't have any answers.
I don't have any answer, but if you have
Use one
questions
top.
about what's in each of those budget items, give you a
Yeah.
little more detail.
And the hint is she wants you to read it this week,
Yeah.
not tonight.
Yeah, not Monday night. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you the truth. So I'm leaving next Tuesday for a week. My friends from Australia are coming. So I'm gonna come to the meeting Monday night, but then I'll be gone for a week. So if you have questions to ask ahead of time, that'd be better. Probably, because I won't answer the phone.
That's the way it is.
Right, so B, maintenance of facilities is, did Barry show up or did he not show up?
No, he didn't have anything.
Okay,
Yeah, he didn't have anything to do. He says everything's
just the same. Okay, so, did you include any maintenance updated or not, or this supposed to go on what they have?
Everything's the same.
All right, so nothing new from Barry. His is all the same. And Barry's is very updated though, because when he put his items in the budget, they are all exactly what he wanted, prioritized for this year, next year, whatever. So his is all real current and pretty much what he's already reported to you guys. Transportation, you should have a report from Juvenile. Although he's not here to explain it, so if you didn't look at it, it's there for you to see. I don't have anything to add to it myself either. And that takes us to D, the AD report from Mr. Missile.
Okay, first of all, this is the first day of the quarter. And so we have enacted a hall pass, a nice bright yellow hall pass. Kids have got to have these in the hall. And if they don't, I either take them back or I find out where they're supposed to be and make sure things are going appropriately and everybody's in class. Today went fine. Day one was great with the passes. So that's what we're acting right now. The other thing too with grades, and today's day one of the fourth quarter, doing a lot of checking from last semester, semester, quarter on grades and seeing what needs to be done. And attendance is one of the issues that really impacts it all, impacts everything. So dealing with that. The other thing too is told the teachers, you need to communicate with the parents. Call them. Yeah, they can hear from Jim Missile, but it's better to hear from the parent first or from the teacher than me. But we both, if something happens, the teachers are calling and then I'll call too. Because it's important that we do that. So that's where I am with that stuff. And then the sports is going fine. We've started track season. The boys GPA is 3.32 with 5 athletes from here. I take their GPAs from here, and then the other 2 are homeschool kids. They can't be used. And then girls track, we have a 3.46 with 6 athletes with 5 that are homeschool. So track is going fine. We had the small schools track meet last weekend, Saturday. We had 3 schools here. The other schools that were supposed to come had to go to their meet in Kettle Falls because they're in the Kettle Falls School District. So that happened. This Wednesday, we have a big middle school track meet here, and which I think we have 7 schools here. So it's going to be a full house, and hopefully that'll be done before dark. It starts at 3:30. So hopefully that will happen. And then, and I am the starter, so we will make sure, I know, everybody will throw rocks at me, and I'll collect them too. Because I love these rocks. You guys are gonna have to, you board members are gonna have to check me at the end of the year what I stole out here. And they have some nice obsidian over here from the greenhouse. I'm getting there, I'm about that, I know I get the signal.
No, I'm just thinking about the rock.
Well, I know, I have all these,
That's what he's been thinking
they're
about
great,
too.
you know.
Don't pull them out of the retaining wall area over there.
No, I've been working it out, so it takes some rocks from my house and bring them up here. But that's all of what's happening right now. But I'm really concerned about kids and their grades, and I want to make sure they get their grades up and passing. So they know when I come around and looking at them. One thing I forgot to tell the teachers, don't stop your lesson when I come in. I just want to come in and see what you're doing, and see what's going on, and see the kids that aren't performing well in class, what are they doing? So, and that's important, and I appreciate having this job, being able to do that, to walk around, just not high school, middle school. I go down to the elementary and I try to resolve those issues too. And there's been someday I'm gonna write a blog. I have some of these things I haven't seen in 40 years, but the kids are great, but they need to be watched and see what's going on. It's like when I was a maintenance director, this is it, I'm done. When I was a maintenance director in Wickenburg, the state of Arizona, you had to do preventive maintenance and you had to turn in a report to the state of Arizona. Well, it's kind of like, okay, let's do that preventive maintenance here. It's preventive discipline. I'm trying to get around to stop whatever's going to stop. We're going to try to reduce what's going to happen. And it's hard. Sometimes I catch it before it happens. Sometimes I don't. And that's why those teachers stand out in the hallways. Knock on wood, I don't think we've had a fight this year. Have we, Cameron, out in the hallway? I think so. Not a fight in the hallway, which I'm happy. Okay, so that's all I have to say.
Cameron?
So we're into week 2 of state testing on the secondary side with grades 7, 8, and 11. We started with ELA last week. I was contacted by NYT in Bonanza. It started it this year, and they're trying to work with rural schools to offer biology 211, 212, and 213. And that's the basic biology for anybody going into any medical fields. So it's not your 101, 102 lower level, it's a little bit upper division. And they would do a combination of Zoom with in-person labs, and they're willing to kind of tailor that to each school. So still kind of looking at that, working that out, but that would be they'd get 12 credits. So it's $25 a credit. So for $300, they're getting 12 200 level science classes, which are, harder to do online. Also looking at outdoor school for the 6th grade, be fully funded with Measure 99 grant funds. If I can get that application in, it just opened up. So I was talking to our liaison from down on the South Coast about possibilities of where we could go with those guys. Our attendance is pretty close to what it was last year. For what we reported, it's not the state's average daily attendance. Elementary will be performing stone soup on April 23rd at 1:30. Learning Fair Night of Excellence in the 8th grade parent meeting will be on May 7th. And on that night also, we'll start rolling out the Thrill Share app to parents and start transitioning all of our communication through that app. We got training staff last Friday. Lots of different activities going on with the high school. They're heading to KCC for their welding field trip. So those that can get certified or able to get certified will be able to take the test there. Wednesday, we've got a group of students going to St. Charles for their diagnosis day. So if they're interested in the medical field, they kind of run them through some different things. So they'll find out if they truly are interested in the medical field or not. Mid-State Career Day got rescheduled for the 17th because when it was scheduled prior, ironically, Mid-State had no power. What else? Prom's coming up on the 10th if anybody wants to chaperone. It's a rodeo theme. And then one unfortunate thing, KCC is dropping their ag program. So that will drop the number of ag credits we can provide on site through our ag program. They're going to do it for one more year. So Hannah and I have talked about reaching out. She was going to reach out to some of the other ag teachers to see who they went through and see if we can bring that back, you know, not have a drop, be able to just continue that.
So there is one more year.
Yeah, I think that's my understanding, but they only had 4 kids graduate from their ag department last year. So not really a viable program if you're not, you know, getting people in to fund it.
Do we have an idea what the other options are gonna be?
Lynn Benton.
Lynn potentially,
TVCC has a great ag program.
I think Treasure, Blue Mountain is who we used before, and then College of the Siskiyous is what some of the Lakeview and Klamath schools use. So we'll reach out, see which ones. It looks like the
Yes, TVCC, there's no, if we have to ever go over, there's no mountains right over
I just know someone can't go outside their area, and I know Lynn Benton and Blue Mountain can't. They have
Yeah.
reciprocal agreement with the state, but that could be TVCC too.
So that's where we're at on those, unfortunately. That's it, yeah.
Ready, so that takes us to the personnel human resources. I have nothing for classified or confidential or certified, but for the administrative position, we conducted the interview, as you know, a couple of you participated in that with Aaron Flack for a VP AD for 25-26. He is definitely interested in coming here, and so I would ask that you approve his hire for next year. And you do need to approve it since it is as an administrative position.
Yeah, I hereby move to approve the hire of Aaron Flack as the Vice Principal Athletic Director on a 1-year probationary contract for the 25-26 school year.
Second. I'll second it then. So it's been moved and seconded to approve the hire of Aaron Flack as a Vice Principal Athletic Director on a 1-year probationary contract for the 25-26 school year. Any discussion, questions?
Say I didn't provide much information. Maybe I should have. I guess 2 of you came, but we haven't talked about him. Did anybody have any questions about him that I could answer for you? Oh, okay.
I sat in on the interview. And
Yeah, you were there.
he has a wealth of experience in athletics.
Yeah.
Big question is choice of sport, but I'm a wrestler. But he is 23 years teaching, I think, what it was, and athletic director. So solid candidate. My concerns have always been about administrative load for our school. So that's where I'm at.
I had heard reports on Aaron as well, seemed like a good candidate. I'm torn looking at the budget for next year about hiring. Same time, as voiced earlier, we obviously have some disciplinary issues, and vice principal might be necessary to help address those. And those are as important as just about anything else. So.
And I'll just add that,
rock and a hard place.
yeah, I'll just add that I did call his references that he listed prior to the interview, and they had nothing but fabulous things to say about him. So I wouldn't have brought him to you if I didn't recommend him for your hire. If I didn't think he would be a great fit for our school.
Any further comments? Yeah.
His salary, though, we already figured in, that's calculated in what they already have. So he's already included in that budget. It wouldn't be in addition to that, if that helps at all.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Then we have just an announcement to make. No action is necessary. This one, the resignation of Kelly Roth from her coaching duties. She just resigned from all of them. Just an announcement for you for your information. Takes us to G, School Board Business Policy Update. The employee negotiations update. This is with certified staff. You should have a copy of a letter that they sent to us. And we came to an agreement on the discipline process that we have been discussing for a while. And that we would leave it out of the CBA, but we would create it together and put in policy. And then also, they didn't state it here, but we'll go into handbooks and things that we talked about, I'm sure, because we talked about that and discussed that. And that was something that they were okay with and wanted as well. So that's, and if the negotiators, Preston and Scott, want to say anything else about that, you may. That they sent, I have 2 copies of it, and as we agreed at the last meeting, we would both just sign off on this if you're all in agreement with it, and then that becomes official record that that is our agreement. And then we're done with the negotiations process. Okay.
Yeah, the teachers were really pushing to have something in the CBA regarding disciplinary action. Our lawyers were pretty adamant that that's not the place for it. I think they're just ultimately looking for some sort of additional guidance and support for classroom discipline. So our kind of resolution, since the lawyers instructed against having it in the CBA, was to come up with this, and we talked to them about being able to, if they put together a plan and come present it to us, that we could develop some board policy around it. So it would not exist within the CBA, it would be a board policy. And they seem like everyone's content with that. You want to add anything, Scott?
I think you covered it well.
And so this behavioral plan will be created by the teachers. and
Teachers,
Administration.
teachers and administration.
Yeah, the idea was that they would have like a work session to collaborate on something that they all agreed upon, put together a plan and put something in place that everyone have buy-in on, and then make it policy, and then something for them to refer back to for disciplinary support.
Yeah, and in the last paragraph, Dan, second to last sentence, it says that the district is willing to collaborate with certified staff in the formation of a plan. Yeah, so it'd be
And so
together.
we don't have anything like that now. Huh?
We have policy, we have lots of policies on discipline, but nothing that we have created together. you guys adopt the board policy kind of based on what you already have, what's on the books. They kind of wanted something more relevant to what they're dealing with, what they're trying to do. And so that was what the back and forth was about, is how were we going to do that? And they're fine sitting down together and just having a session with administration saying, here's what we would like, here's what we would like. And we just kind of pencil it out and work it out together so that everybody's okay with what it is. And that to me would be just, I think, focused on the issues that are of most concern to them right now. Not everything like policy covers, but just was that you guys' understanding too, mostly just the issues that they're kind of dealing with. It might be broad, but it isn't going to cover all the things that are in the policy, because policy covers that. But their main concerns, what are we watching for? What are we going to do if this happens, that happens? How are we going to handle those kinds of things? That's how I got it.
Seemed to be definitely a plan that you guys work together on,
Mhm.
come to an agreement with,
Mhm.
so. Okay, I guess we need a motion to approve and accept.
Yes.
Contract.
Just to accept the negotiations agreement for
Yes.
next 2 years.
Just
I'm
what sounds
going to
good.
accept the negotiation agreement for 25, 26.
And 27.
Oh, 26.
Well, they only put 25, 26 in the letter. That's what they said, but,
It says and
And
subsequent
subsequent
years.
years.
and subsequent years, yes.
Just
Yeah,
say it like
the
that.
idea being that it would be an ongoing resolution that could be adjusted and amended as necessary.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll second it.
Okay, been moved and seconded to approve the negotiation plan for excuse me, the 25-26 school year and subsequent years. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds great for me. Yeah.
all right, good. Anything,
Okay.
other further questions?
There's nothing in the letter about a timeline for finalizing, which was something we had discussed. Have you talked dates yet on?
No, we haven't talked dates.
So what's gonna,
No. It's gonna have to happen pretty fast, though. If they want it in handbooks, it's gonna have to happen pretty fast.
yeah, do you think we could at the next board meeting have an update on where we're?
I sure hope so. I'd like,
Not that it would necessarily be done, because I realize it's not even a full month because of the way the calendar is
right,
falling, but at least the meetings are, we know when the discussions are gonna happen and who all is gonna be involved.
you wanna know that before we meet, or you just, is that what you're asking? Or can I tell you if it's, are we gonna have it penciled out before the next board meeting? Both?
Yeah, I just want to know progress by the next board meeting that.
Okay,
That you,
Yep.
if you've already met, great, but if you haven't, then this is the day we're gonna meet. And
Yep. I'll give you whatever we have at the next board meeting, and I'd like to be a good share of the way down the road by the next board meeting.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, any other questions? So, all those in favor?
Okay.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And, okay, then Janet had an item on here, G2 OSBA fall meeting and training. She just wanted you to know that it is scheduled for October 30th in 2025.
Taylor Highland wanted me to send that to you. guys.
Taylor Heilman, yes, from the ESD, sent that up. Get this on your calendar, so there it is, so it's on your calendar. And then Janet is going to talk to you about number 3, the idea of moving to a consent agenda, and she'll explain what that is. Something for your consideration.
Because you guys have like meetings, lots of meetings. So every year it comes up in our board secretary group discussion, the whole running a consent agenda. And so I kind of laid out kind of what it is, what it would require. You can look it over. I'm thinking if it's something you want to do, I would slowly move towards it, maybe at the start of next year, like after the July meeting. But basically what the consent agenda would do is everything that's routine like my enrollment report, transportation report, maintenance report, all the little reports, you roll that into a consent agenda along with like approving the agenda, approving the minutes, everything that you guys just do routinely, and just get it all done in one vote. And the whole idea is that you read all those materials beforehand. All of that you're well versed on, you don't need to discuss it, you understand it. And so basically the vote is to approve the things that need approving, and then the vote also is kind of verifying that you looked over the informational stuff. But it might save some time and get you guys more directly to like the things that actually require discussion and not just information stuff. And if we set one up, we just be very deliberate about how we set it up to make sure everybody's versed on how to get something off the consent agenda, if they want something up for discussion, all of that, because the whole point is not to keep it from being discussed if it needs to be discussed. But if it doesn't, to just rubber stamp it, hey, we've seen it, we approve the agenda every meeting, we approve the minutes every meeting, I don't see any issue with it. We're just gonna all in one vote take it off there. Something to look over, something to consider. If you have questions, go ahead and email me, about it. But look it over. If it's something you want to do, great. If not, you basically run two agendas. You'd have a consent agenda at the beginning of the meeting. You'd approve it, boom, you're done with all of that. Then you get to the stuff that you actually need to discuss and work on. That's the way.
Yeah, I say let's do that. We do that at Midstate. That works great. If somebody has a question on something, we just pull that out. If it needs to be discussed, otherwise, questions asked and answered real quickly, and then it's just one vote and all that stuff's off the table. So, yeah. I don't know. Do we need a motion or is it just?
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking if it's something you want to do, then maybe we can make a motion at like the July meeting to just move everything towards that consent agenda, and then I can start creating that for you guys. I think the annual meeting is probably a good change for
Sure.
that, like a good meeting to change that up.
Sounds good.
Dwight might be opposed. He likes to be here till 10.
Yeah.
Just check.
All this preliminary.
July's a good time to get that going, because then you get into that kind of nighttime work going on, so. Agreed.
Okay, so that's, you want to put that on the next meeting, agenda 2, or do you want to wait?
I would just
a
leave
bit?
it open as a discussion item
Okay.
over the May and June meeting as to, okay, how do you want to put something, take something off or put something on it?
If you have any questions?
Yeah, any questions about that, just answering questions for the next couple of meetings, just, discussing kind of how we want that to, what we want that to look like, and what parts of the board meeting you want. What reports,
Okay, so I put it on, I'm already making my list for the next board meeting, that's why I asked, so, okay. All right, any other questions about that? Anything on that? Okay, so number G4, the MOU regarding Rosanna Cahill. You have this in your packet. This was sent to me by Lane Stratton. I need to sign it. Lane will sign it. It's just an MOU saying that we agree, that Lake County agrees to provide 1 day a week of school counselor time, cover mileage, laptop, all of that stuff for Rosanna Cahill to come up here and continue to do her program with the Character Strong program with our students like she has been doing. And we agree to pay 0.25 of her salary, which is estimated to be $32,600. That's just about $5,000 more than we're doing this year. So you don't need to make a motion for this. That's not necessary, but I'm just telling you and informing you that I will be signing this because I think that is worth it for us to have her. She's great with our kids. She works with them on all kinds of behavioral issues, social issues, mental issues. She can visit with kids one-on-one, whatever she wants to do, whatever they need her to do. And she generally goes around and talks to classes at a time, whole classes at a time. So I would like to keep her coming to do that Character Strong program. We have to do it anyway. Something like it. If she doesn't do it, then the teachers will have to do it. And it's kind of nice to have a different speaker in there, and she's very effective. So I, unless anybody has any objections to that, I'm go ahead and sign that MOU and return it to Lane. Okay.
The only question I have is, it's 1 day a week. Is there any way to get more time, or does that look like?
I'd love to have her more than 1 day. Once in a while, she sneaks up here for another day, but I'll ask Lane and see if there's any way we could get a solid day. It just depends on how many of the other schools use her too. Sometimes that varies a little bit. So I'll ask him how that's looking for this upcoming year.
How long, sorry, go ahead.
Because she stays all day. Is that what you're gonna ask?
No, I say, how long have we been doing this program?
I would say with her, 3 years. I'd say, I think 3 years. I think this is our 3rd year. Prior to that, the teachers did it in their own room. Clark Simons used to do it when he was here. And it was, what was it called?
Second step.
Second Steps. That's what it was.
Kathy Leibel used to do that.
Kathy Leibel did it. So we've always had a program in the school, but Rosanna's area of expertise is the Character Strong program, which is fine. It's a great program. Teachers like it too. So it doesn't really matter, but we're required to have one. So that's what she does.
What would be our projected cost if we went back to having our teachers?
Well, it's just no more cost, just other than the cost of the program, but they would have to carve time out of their day and well, do it themselves. Is all.
And have we noticed, do we think that the program is effective in, I guess, helping with disciplinary issues?
I do. She works mostly with the little kids because we have that's where most of our needs is for the Character Strong program. And that's kind of where the age level that it fits. Things that I have asked her to do is if she's working with kids or a group of kids that are having a particular issue, like getting along or whatever, is just follow them to recess, kind of watch them out there, help them navigate. What does it mean to share? What does it mean to take turns? How do you avoid fighting when you're playing a game? You know, things like that, how do you get along? Just kind of those type of social skills. So she'll do that with them. She loves to do the whole group work with the kids. I think it's effective. And I think the most enjoyable part of it for the kids is that she's like a guest speaker, but yet in a way, she gets to know them over the year and they get to know her and they look forward to having her come. And I think it's more effective having a different person do it than a teacher. Teachers are good at it, but it's just who it is. So, and she's come here long enough that she knows our kids and she knows what issues they're struggling with. So she's a very positive person. She builds relationships very well and kids seem to like her very much. So I enjoy having her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess my only concern, so we're spending $32,000 on that primarily spends time in the elementary. And as we've heard this evening, we have an exceptional amount of issues in our elementary. So I guess for me, I don't have a baseline to know, would we be worse off without her, or do we need to try something different? What's the, that's where my mind was going with it.
Okay.
Just having been doing it for 3 years and we're still seeing the issues that we're seeing. Would it be twice as bad? I don't know what that would even look like.
Well, the alternative
I just
is,
don't like throwing money at
Yeah.
something that's not actually solving our problems.
well, if you're not comfortable with that and everybody else agrees with you, then don't have her come back. And
I think you're just asking a question.
I'm just asking, I
I think it's a fair question, but I do think there's how do you balance the, it could be
It's not an
quite,
experiment you want to try.
it could be quite a bit better. It could be, if we're just talking dollars and cents, it could be
a lot worse.
She might be saving us 100,000 in
Right.
discipline. That's
Well,
hard to quantify.
it is, and she's another body, she's another person, she's another resource that we have when she's here on those days that talk with those kids and Maybe the teachers already talked to him 4 or 5
I see.
times and,
I do see a lot of value in another person,
yeah,
that-
I do.
that new voice. I don't know her, but
Yeah.
she's doing a good job.
And I like Scott's approach. If you get more time, maybe we see better results. for
Yeah.
something different. So
Just,
I'd rather go that way than not at all, I guess.
Well, and I appreciate your comment there, Dwight, about another person brings in another angle or another direction kind of with the kids, and maybe that's, if we can get more time on it, it might help, but
Yeah, 'cause if she's here 4 days a month, and we could have her even 5 days, that'd be.
Or even if,
quite a bit more.
even if she came 6,
Yeah.
every other week, come
Yeah,
another
every
day
other
or
week.
something like that.
Just know that's gonna change your budget. So she's paid for the grant. And if we were to add more for the grant, then we have to
Move it around. Okay. We'll find out if she's available first and see what that would mean. But I think if you guys, unless you don't want her to come at all, then I think the minimum that we would have her would be what's on this paper. The 4 days a week for that amount of money. If I can get her more, then we'll get her more, and we'll see if we can move the grant around a little bit. If not, then maybe this is all we get her. Either that or we don't have her come at all. Is an option. But then we'll spend that grant money on something else, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough information with him to. But I would say not to have her come at all. It just would be nice to have some examples of maybe from teachers that could come in and say, this gal has come in and worked with, she probably can't use name or but student XYZ in my class and they've gone from this to this and it's going to be effective or something of that nature rather than just moving along with it. But if we don't have time for that, then I guess maybe we approach that next year.
She work with your kids, Laura? Do you want to say anything or do you not? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, she comes in with lessons and my kids enjoy her time in there. We discuss throughout the week what she does when she's in there, just because it is a different voice. She hasn't worked with any of my kids one-on-one, so I can't really comment to any of that.
Yeah. And I think what she's doing with you, she does in all of the other classes unless there's a particular kid in there that she feels she needs to put some time into. That's having issues. But I think what she's doing in Laura's room is the norm. But she targets the kids that have higher needs, which can. Okay. So are you guys okay on me signing this? Do you want to hold off on this? What are you thinking?
I'm good with it.
Alrighty,
We can always add to.
we can. Yeah, okay. We'll do.
do we need a motion for that?
No, I was just telling you, What's that?
Probably a good idea, even though.
want to
they're
have a
not-
motion?
Yeah, even though
Okay.
they're not signing it, probably still a good. idea.
Even they're not signing it? Right,
Because it's
okay.
32,000.
Well, it's 32,000, that's why I brought it. It's only 5,000 more than what we did last year, but yeah, go ahead. Let's have a motion. That will be safe. Go ahead.
I move we approve the MOU for the counseling agreement at 0.25. Can I say or more?
Sure,
Say it.
To leave it open and not have to come back to it?
yeah,
You're-
yeah, 0.25 FTE or more.
0.25.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the memo of understanding with the Lake County ESD on the school counselor for the 25-26 school year at 0.25 FTE or more if available. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries.
And I'll check on the 0.25 or more and let you know. That's possible. Okay, and the last one, number 5, G5 is yours.
That's just your information only. Okay.
Anything you want to say about that or
No, but
nothing?
that's
Okay.
commission wanted to make sure I got everybody a copy of their meetings cheat sheet, so.
Oh, yeah, we got those.
All right,
I'm sure you're,
and that's all. And then, except for Preston and Scott, since you guys were the negotiation for the board, you each need to sign both of these, okay? That'll be good. That's it.
All right. Well, we'll continue on with the agenda. And, excuse me, executive session, we have none tonight. Unfinished business, there's none listed. Questions and comments from board members?
I have one from the board secretary.
Okay,
Just letting you guys know the new website is up and running. It'll look different and we are still slowly updating some of those pages, but a lot of it will look. And it's supposed to tailor with that app too. So.
I would just have to say the ethics, since we talked about ethics, that filing is due in 4 days, the SEI filing.
Tomorrow, isn't it?
Said 4 days. Maybe.
After
Maybe
all,
I'm-
file
it's normally
taxes,
tax
right?
day, I think.
Maybe I'm behind on my emails, so, but it's coming up now. So
Thanks,
if
tomorrow.
you don't want to be fined. I'm like, and I haven't heard the bill that we're trying to get through on.
Yeah, I was dragging my feet, but you don't think
It's not gonna happen.
they're.
No, still in ways and means, and I don't know where it's at. so. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Yeah, good reminder on that.
Not really.
I have to.
Is it you in jail?
Because I didn't fill out my assignment for it.
What kind of cake you like? Well, future agenda items.
Oh, I have budget meeting for next week.
21st is the budget meeting.
Yes.
For future agenda items, what I already put on my list is update on the discipline plan with the certified staff that you asked for. Just an update, say where we are. The consent agenda topic will be back on in both May and June, and then an update on Rosanna, if she can come more than 0.25 or not. Where we are with that.
Okay.
Anything else?
April, May.
And it doesn't say this on the posting that Monica puts out. It never did on Sarah's either, but our budget meetings are always at 6 o'clock also, same as the board meetings. Everybody always asks me 5 or 6, but it's not on there, is it, Monica? It usually never is, and we always have to go over that.
It's on this.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was looking on the calendar, the budget calendar. You've never put it
Oh,
on.
the calendar.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the newspaper. I'm like,
No,
I know it's
the
on there.
calendar, on the calendar.
6 or
Because
5.
that's what I look at to write down my dates, and people usually ask me
Six.
because it's not on. 6 o'clock, yes.
6 o'clock.
Guys got anything else?
At the meeting, so on there.
Jeez,
Yes, we can thank Monica for that.
Sarah's fault.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Sarah.
All right.
She's in Spain, so she can't. Can't even know.
I would request next year that you come in and tell us that we're gonna be, we have $250,000 extra in the budget.
So I'm kind of excited about next year because since it's a biennium, once they get us the information, it'll be so much easier to do next year's than this year's.
Be
This year's
careful what
just
you ask for.
Yeah.
Basically, you guys are gonna go into this approving something that's gonna change. Period.
Yeah.
So,
The next regular meeting is 12.
Yes.
Regular schedule.
that's what I have.
Yeah.
May 12th, my birthday, should make it a short one.
No.
Double down.
It's a consent agenda.
Go to midnight.
Should have it all fixed by then.
Yeah. All right, don't see anything further. Nothing further. Adjourn the meeting.
Just a
Thank you.
record. That's a record.
That is a record.
Woohoo.
A year and a half, that's a record.
This is 5.